Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this channel. Today's video is not about a match you watched on television. It's not about a scoreline you saw scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's about something that happened off the record, behind closed gates, on a court most fans will never notice. And if you care about tennis, if you care about the rise of Alex Eala, this might be the most important story of her career so far. We're standing on the doorstep of the Australian Open main draw. Melbourne is alive. Fans are flooding into the grounds. Players are locked in. Every contender is fine-tuning details that could decide their fate over the next 2 weeks. But while the spotlight was fixed on the show courts, the Real signal came from a far corner of Melbourne Park. Earlier today, a closed practice session took place. No broadcast, no crowd, just 2 players and an intensity that, according to multiple independent sources, crossed the line from warm-up into something far more serious. On one side was Alex Eala, world number 49, fresh off the biggest ranking leap of her career. On the other was Elena Rybakina, a Grand Slam champion, the world number 5, and one of the most ruthless ball strikers in the modern game. This wasn't meant to be news, but it is, because this was not a courtesy hit. This wasn't a light rally to loosen the legs. This was a competitive, high-intensity practice set, the kind elite players reserve only for opponents they genuinely respect. And that is the first major takeaway. You do not share a court with a top 5 player on the eve of a Grand Slam unless you've earned that level of trust. In professional tennis, respect is currency. And today, Alex Eala was treated like someone who belongs in the inner circle. Practice sessions at this level are guarded carefully. Top seeds don't want to reveal patterns. They don't want to leak information. And they certainly don't want to hand confidence to a potential threat. So when Rybakina's team agreed to this session, it wasn't random. It was deliberate. And according to every report coming out of Melbourne Park, Eala didn't just survive the pace. She forced Rybakina to work. There were long rallies, heavy exchanges, pressure moments where neither player backed down. Eala absorbed the power, redirected it, and refused to be rushed. That tells us something critical. The speed of the top 5 is no longer overwhelming her. Context matters here. Just hours before this practice session, Eala stepped onto a public court and dismantled Donna Vekic, 6-3, 6-4. A seasoned veteran, an Olympic silver medalist, a player with years of experience on the biggest stages. That wasn't a survival win. That was a control performance. When you put those 2 moments together, this stops being a curiosity and starts becoming a pattern. For years, Alex Eala was discussed as a future project, a junior standout, a long-term investment, a player building patiently towards something bigger. What happened today suggests that future has arrived. The session against Rybakina wasn't about winning a practice set. It was about proving her game works at elite speed. Rybakina's tennis is designed to suffocate opponents. Big serve, flat ground strokes, short points, no room to breathe. Most players retreat. Most players try to absorb until they break. Eala didn't retreat. Reports indicate she held her position on the baseline, took the ball early, and took time away. That is not a cosmetic adjustment. That is a structural evolution in her game. It means her footwork is sharper. Her preparation is earlier. Her confidence in her timing is real. And if she can do that against Rybakina, she can do it against almost anyone in this draw. This progression didn't start today. In Auckland, Eala beat Vekic in a 3-set grinder, showing grit and resilience. At Kooyong, she beat her again, this time with authority and control. That shift matters. It shows growth. It shows belief. It shows a player learning how to impose herself rather than simply respond. You don't step onto a court with a Wimbledon champion and compete unless you already know, deep down, that you belong there. The ranking shift is another piece of the puzzle. World number 49 is more than a number. It changes access. It changes perception. It changes how other players treat you. This is Eala's first Australian Open main draw without qualifying. No physical drain. No early stress. While others fought through 3 rounds just to get in, she's been preparing against elite opposition. That advantage is real. There's also a psychological ripple effect. Stories from practice courts travel fast. Players talk. Coaches talk. Rumors spread. Anyone who draws Eala in the early rounds will know what she's been doing. They'll know about Vekic. They'll hear about Rybakina. They won't walk onto the court relaxed. And for Eala herself, the confidence is invaluable. After standing toe-to-toe with Rybakina's pace, everything else feels slower. The storm has already been faced. Of course, we have to stay grounded. Practice is still practice. There's no crowd, no umpire, and no scoreboard pressure. Rybakina may have been working on specific patterns or conserving energy. But even an 80% version of Elena Rybakina overwhelms most players on tour. If Eala was competitive, and all signs point to that, then her level is far closer to the elite than many still believe. The remaining question is endurance. The heat. The physical toll of 2 weeks in Melbourne. But physically, Eala looks stronger than ever. Faster. More explosive. More durable. This is preparation showing results. What this hidden session ultimately confirms is simple. Alex Eala's game now functions at Grand Slam speed. She's not waiting for errors. She's creating pressure. She's taking pace and turning it into opportunity. That is the skill that separates solid tour players from genuine contenders. We saw the fight in Auckland. We saw the authority at Kooyong. And now we've seen elite-level validation in Melbourne. The pieces are in place. So when you see Alex Eala's name in the Australian Open draw, don't skim past it. Based on what we know, both publicly and privately, she's one of the most dangerous floaters in this tournament. This Australian Open has the potential to change her career trajectory permanently. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe elite-level practice performances actually matter once the matches count? Or are we reading too much into a closed session? How far do you think Eala goes in Melbourne? First round, second week, or something even bigger? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'll be down there responding. And if you appreciate coverage that looks beyond scorelines and into preparation, psychology, and the hidden moments that shape careers, support the channel. Like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. We'll be covering the Australian Open every day. Every Eala match, every shift in momentum. This is a defining moment for Filipino tennis. The signal has been sent. Now we wait to see what happens next. I'll see you in the next one.